Yes, I do. That's all. Forward. Would like to make a blanket statement that I support all legislation that's on the agenda tonight in its current form, including the budget. Also, let me know if
I sent you an email. I'm Dr. Brian Norton from the Communications Department.
I'm sorry, not right now. We can't.
Well, I sent you an email and I sent you a request. I just need 3 minutes of your time, even actually less.
I'm sorry, sir. We can't.
Okay, well, I'd like the Senate to vote on it. If you just hear me talk about the Spinnaker.
Seeing none, we'll have to move off the report.
I'd like to be heard. It would only take a minute and a half. You have time to talk about the parties, that's great, but I think this is an important point to talk about too.
We'll have reports we need to hear, so Jared, do you have a motion?
Motion to add him to reports.
yes, speakers.
To guest speakers then?
I've asked to be added as a guest speaker. I've done it the proper way, and I've been denied. She's just asked me if I can be added to the speaker.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. You good?
I'd like to speak before you vote on the budget, yes. And then, like I said, only for a minute and a half, 3 minutes, whatever's necessary, just a brief statement. I could be done if you let me speak on it.
Okay, we'll add you right before the budget and we'll talk about it.
Okay?
The motion, we'll add you in a second. Passed.
I just have one information.
Yes.
We will have time during discussion.
Yes, I do, Mark.
For the budget, will not.
Would you please leave the room?
If I be allowed to come back to speak, will I be allowed to
Please leave
speak?
the room right now.
I'm more than willing to leave.
Sergeant Arm, could you please escort?
I'm more than willing to leave. I just want to know if I'll be allowed to come back. Yes.
There will be time to speak during when we actually get to the budget itself.
Okay, that's great. All right, thank you. I'll hold you to your promise.
Are there any questions? Senator Galligan.
Will you please read your report? Sure. Sorry, that was it.
I'm just speaking on behalf of the Spinnaker, and I'm just asking you simply to consider your decision tonight very carefully. And I would say that one of the things that you're trying to do is to learn how to be a real senator. And I think a senator in this particular situation would try to get more information before you actually voted. One of the ways to get information is perhaps do a survey or a poll or something like that. Because from what I've been told, again, I'm not sure how accurate all the information that I have is, but you're voting to dramatically cut the Spinnaker's funding. And we in the Communication Department, although the Spinnaker has nothing to do with the department, we really believe in the Spinnaker, we support the Spinnaker. We think it's a great opportunity for students to learn how to write and report, do all those different things, and it's a great experience for them. So if you cut the budget and end up destroying it, I think that would be a tremendous loss to the university and to the students.
Budget that you're going to be hearing tonight. Spinnaker's is why we're here, obviously, because we worked it. But for Spinnaker to operate every year, it costs over $300,000, and that is a lot of money. But with that, we do a lot for the campus. While the appearance is that the subscription that y'all give in the budget goes to strictly pay for the printing of the magazine, that isn't the case. That money is actually used to pay our reporters and student reporters to generate the content that goes in there. Right now, the money that's in that line for the subscription will only pay to print the pages, not to generate the content that goes into them. So effectively, you'll be printing blank pages. Because our news can't function without reporters, and our news can't function without editors, and our news can't function without people to do it. And we'd love for everyone to be able to volunteer, but as you know, people are busy, and they need money, and they need jobs to help pay for gas to get here, or food to eat for lunch, eat a bit, whatever it is on campus. So what we're asking for tonight is an additional $78,000 into that subscription line, which would pay for the content to be created to go into the magazine, so you have something to read not only in the magazine, but also on the website, and on the TV show, or on the TV channel, and in the radio station. All our news content that is generated doesn't just go to fill the magazine, although that is obviously the most feelable part of it. It's also on UNFspinnaker.com, on my news show every morning, and on radio and everywhere else on campus. We're the campus news, and we can't function if we're not funded to do so.
Spinnaker Media is a news conglomerate. That means each division depends on a newsroom for its news content. Right now, the proposed budget does not at all cover news gathering. It is just for print costs only. And that, the $27,000 proposed is not even enough to print a projected 6 issues and 7,000 units.
Think of the students that you're serving and think of the students that are serving you by being a part of Spinnaker Media. If you look behind you, there's quite a few people, and I want to say 99% of them are members of Spinnaker Media, and these students really care and they really, really want the proper funding so they can continue to volunteer and can continue to work. Without the proper funding, UNF could be lacking something that's been around almost since the start of University of North Florida. For students in Spinnaker Media, it provides an extracurricular activity not offered anywhere else on campus that helps us grow as journalists, as DJs, as graphic designers, as videographers, as photographers, as ad salesmen, literally anything in media, we serve that. For outside of Spinnaker, we're providing a service for news and entertainment on multiple platforms, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're really urging you to reconsider our proposed budget so you don't take away something from students within the organization that really care and benefit from working and volunteering with us, and from students outside of the organization who want and need what we can offer as a service.
We are also asking you to remove the provisionary language from our budget. Now, what this language does is requires to print a certain number of issues for the money that we're getting. But we never had a proviso on our print before a couple of years ago, and we never had problems without a proviso. Since the proviso was introduced, it has caused problems. So why do we have it? Well, what we've been told over and over again is it holds us accountable. If we had lump sum funding, which would give us the flexibility to serve students the best, then and no proviso, the accountability we would have would be budget and allocations, hearings, questionnaires, and SG surveys where you all guys get together and assess how much our need is for the student body. 2, the Spinnaker Advisory Board endorses the annual budget. 3, expenditures are reviewed on a monthly basis by the Student Affairs budget officers. And 4, the Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Gonzalez, and President John Delaney approve the annual budget every year. So with that detailed level of accountability with no proviso and with lump sum, what does the proviso add? What does it help? And we already have the Spinnaker print funds and the movie funds, to rent movies that you see on Spinnaker TV. That goes directly into our auxiliary, and we have the ability to use it how we want without line item budgeting. And that has worked. So if it can work for those 2 sums, why can't it work for the whole thing? All we want to do is do our jobs and serve students as best we can, and we need the flexibility to do that.
Motion passes 2504.